Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, let's talk about something we all deal with. Why is it so hard to stop doing something, even when we know it's not good for us? Well, today we're going to dig right into the science behind breaking those bad habits and, building a better you.
So, have you ever felt just stuck, trapped by a habit you really want to change? I mean, whether it's the endless doom scrolling on your phone, the late night stress eating, or oh yeah, good old procrastination, believe me, you are definitely not alone in this. But here's the good news, and it's really good news. Science tells us that the problem isn't your willpower. It's not about just gritting your teeth and trying harder. Nope. It's all about having the right strategy to literally rewire your brain. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's figure out what's actually going on inside our heads.
Right. So, first things first. If we're going to change a habit, we have to understand how our brain creates one to begin with. Okay, so what is a habit really? Well, you can think of it like your brain's energy-saving mode. It's basically a mental shortcut that becomes totally automatic over time. And this whole process is run by a part of your brain called the basal ganglia, which is pretty much the brain's autopilot. And this is where it gets really interesting, because there's this constant tug of war going on inside your head. You've got two systems battling it out. On one side, there's your prefrontal cortex. That's the CEO, right? The part that makes smart, conscious decisions. But on the other side, you've got the basal ganglia. That's like the factory floor, just repeating the same action over and over and over again. And here's the thing. Every single habit, doesn't matter if it's good or bad, it follows this super simple three-part loop. It starts with a cue. Maybe your phone buzzes. That's the trigger. That leads to the routine. You pick up the phone and start scrolling. And then you get the reward, that little hit of dopamine, that bit of entertainment. And each time you run through that loop, that neural pathway in your brain just gets stronger and stronger.
And that brings us to this quote, which just nails it. You become what you repeat. See, it's the repetition that locks in the habit, not some big conscious choice you make once. So if just trying harder isn't the answer, then what is?
Well, that's exactly why the just try harder approach usually ends in frustration. We need a smarter strategy, right? One that actually works with our brain's natural wiring instead of constantly fighting against it.
Now, before we go any further, it's super important to draw a clear line between a habit and an addiction. They are not the same thing. Habits are patterns we can learn to change. Addiction, on the other hand, is a much more complex disorder. It involves compulsion, a loss of control, and often needs professional help to overcome.
Okay, and we have to bust a myth here. You've probably heard it takes 21 days to form a habit, right? Well, you can pretty much forget that. The actual research shows it takes, on average, 66 days for a new behavior to become automatic. 66. So, what's the takeaway? Patience. You've got to be patient with yourself, because real, lasting change just takes time.
So, what does this smarter strategy actually look like in practice? Well, we've boiled down all the research into a really clear 5-step action plan to get you started. And the whole point of this plan is to systematically break down that old habit loop we were just talking about. It's a roadmap that takes you from just noticing your triggers to actually actively rewiring your brain's response to them. Step 4 is a real game changer. It's about planning ahead with these simple if-then statements. For example, if I feel stressed, then I will do 2 minutes of deep breathing. See what that does? It automates your new response so you don't have to rely on willpower in that moment when you're feeling stressed or tired.
And then, for those times when a craving just hits you like a ton of bricks, there's this amazing mindfulness technique called RAIN. It's basically a tool that helps you just notice the urge, accept that it's there, and watch it pass, kind of like a wave, without letting it pull you under.
Okay, but here's a piece of the puzzle we often totally forget. Changing your habits isn't just an internal battle. It's not just about you. The people around you, they play a massive role in whether you succeed or not. Just how big a role? Well, get this. Studies have shown that you are 65% more likely to hit a goal if you share it with someone for accountability. 65%. I mean, that is a huge, huge advantage.
But, and this is a big but, the key is to find compassionate accountability. There's a world of difference between guilt and shame. Guilt is, okay, I did something bad. That can actually motivate you to do better. Shame, on the other hand, is, I am bad. And that feeling, it just paralyzes you. It's completely counterproductive.
And that's why this quote is so perfect. Boundaries are the distance at which I can love you and me simultaneously. Because this kind of mutual support, it only works when you have clear, healthy boundaries in place.
Okay, let's say you've done the work, you've started a new habit. Awesome. But now comes the final, crucial piece of the puzzle. How do you make it stick for good? First thing, and this is maybe the most important thing of all, you have to change how you think about setbacks. A slip-up is not a failure. It doesn't mean you're back at square one. It's just data. It's a chance to learn, to understand your triggers a little bit better, and maybe adjust your plan.
Adopting this mindset is what builds resilience, and it works because it taps into your brain's amazing ability to adapt and rewire itself, what scientists call neuroplasticity. It is the living proof that you are never, ever permanently stuck.
So, when you put it all together, understanding your brain, using a smart strategy, and getting support from the right people, you absolutely have what it takes to take control and make a lasting change. The only real question left is, what new habit are you going to start today?